Alright, well, got my cup of Joe here, and I got a sausage and egg cheese mix holiday gas station. So today, on the Welderside Chat, I'm going to talk about trikes of all stupid things. Where would I ever get such a notion to talk about trikes? I got my Aptera shirt on. We'll talk about that, which fits into the whole trike thing. I'm an investor in Aptera, and if you don't know what Aptera is, it's a highly modernized, futuristic, electric, three-wheeled vehicle. And like all the three-wheeled vehicles that are coming out now, it's this convention. Two wheels up front, one in the back. It's the only way they'll build a car, because it's the only safe way to build a car. You want to take a look at not a good way to build a car. Look up the Robin Reliant. Top Gear did a really funny video on that car, but it shows you the problem you have with putting one wheel in the front and two in the back. But anyway, I got interested in Aptera not only because it's an electric car that gets up to 1,000 miles per charge. It had some really good design features, which I have to admit I kind of stumbled across. They put the motors in the wheels, which adds a lot of weight to the wheels, but what it does is it actually makes the trike extremely stable. Very hard to tip over. In fact, it'll understeer, where the vehicle will slide rather than lift a wheel. And they have a test they call the moose test. And the way the moose test works is you're driving down the road and a moose walks out in front of you. So what do? You panic and you flip the wheel, and the vehicle has to make a 40-degree quick turn. Well, typically, if that was a normal back wheel trike, it would be on its side. Where this kind of trike, or the Aptera, which is a trike, will just zoom around because the wheels are heavy. It takes a lot of effort to lift those wheels. The wheels on mine are probably real similar in weight to what they have, and I would say each wheel weighs about 60 pounds. And that acts like an outrigger on a canoe. You put an outrigger on a canoe and it's virtually impossible to tip it over. So it really, I don't know if they came across this on purpose or if they stumbled across it, but the main reason I think they put the motors in the wheels is because it gets them out of the engine compartment. It moves all the mechanics to the wheel. Well, there's two moving parts in every wheel. That's it. So totally you have four moving parts. You got a motor and a gear reduction, that's it. You have a very small battery. The Aptera is so efficient that the mirrors on a Ford F-150 offer more wind resistance than the entire vehicle. That's why they get such astounding mileage. They use a really small battery, so it charges really quickly. So the Aptera really goes along those lines as far as efficiency and how well it'll charge and all that. And like I say, it's kind of futuristic, but I think, I'm always kind of looking forward instead of backwards. I think if you look at like the cartoon shows where they show the Jetsons and all that, you look at the shape of those cars, that's the future. It really kind of astounds me that, they didn't make gasoline-powered cars with aerodynamic styling in place, where they would get just astounding mileage figures out of them. Instead, they opted to go with what the public wanted to see, which is kind of a catch-22. If you kind of go your own way, people are going to say, I don't like it, it's ugly, and I'm used to this box. I like to buy boxes. And, you go this other route where you build it for our aerodynamics and all that. Is it going to catch on? Are people going to buy it? That kind of thing. But I know Sandy Monroe is I'm one of 1,500, I think. There's 1,500 investors. I'm a very small investor. Not the smallest, but pretty small. I know Sandy Monroe is a pretty big investor, and he's 100% sold on this. If you don't know who Sandy Monroe is, you should look him up. Sandy Munro worked with Ford, GM, Chinese companies, NASA. So it kind of ties in with the electric and the trike, and you know, you can see the trend is to go with a three-wheeled vehicle because there's less rolling resistance. You don't have to conform with all the DOT requirements, and because it's enclosed, you don't need to wear a helmet. So basically, it's a lot easier to drive them. It's a lot less restrictive. They still have the crash rating, even though it's not required. They have a 5-star crash rating, seat belts, all the standard stuff. They still have it. I think the only thing they're fighting over now a little bit is mirrors. They want to get rid of the mirrors, but the DOT requires mirrors. What they want to replace it with is cameras. So I think they'll be getting rid of the mirrors here pretty soon, which makes sense. You know, instead of a mirror on the outside, you're going to have a little screen on each side. It's really kind of the same thing, except you don't have the wind resistance. You know, every little bit makes a difference. And the Aptera is actually designed using a shark. And a shark, when a shark swims, normally it's like this, but when it comes to the bottom of the ocean, it arches its back. And it does that because it's more efficient. So if you look at the Aptera, it's got an arched back. And they spent hours and hours and hours changing and tweaking and changing things to see if it would be better or worse. I gotta give them credit. They put, you know, I don't know, 10, 15 years into the design of this thing. And they're planning on going in production fourth quarter this year, maybe first quarter next year. And I also have money down to purchase one. We'll see. I don't know if I'll purchase one. I put the money down. I want to see them succeed. And that was even before I became an investor. I just gave them $100. I figured, you know, if it helps them a little bit to get to the production line, that's fine. And if I never get anything out of it, I don't care. And I guess it's kind of the same thing with the investment I put in it. It's kind of like when you invest in a company, it's just like going to the casino. How much money can you lose? I go to a casino with a $100 bill, and I put it in the machine. If I win, I walk away. If I lose, I walk away. Either way, I walk away. $100 is where I put my limit, and that's it. Same thing with going to auctions. You put a price on a piece of equipment. If it goes over that price, you walk away. It's hard to do, but that's what you do. This is more of a rambling pile of nonsense about some things I'm just interested in. Well, my coffee gradually gets cold. And I'm building wedges. Built 2 of these things for the ice arena in town here. They've got a 3-inch bar, big metal bar that when they open the Zamboni gates and close it, they slide this bar in, but it's got play in it, so this sticks in there to secure it. And I had to put this little knob on here because they pull on the cable, and they right away broke these cables. The high school kids are my test pilots for durability, I guess. So anyway, I did that. I'm doing a whole bunch of work for them. So it kind of worked out nice. My neighbor actually works there as a maintenance guy. And I got the, hey Norm, come on over. I got some things I want you to work on. So I'm building braces for skate racks, Zamboni reinforcements. What else am I doing? Casters on the skate racks. And I think we did some reinforcement on the girls' bathroom doors. Girls are hard on bathroom doors, I guess. So anyway, he's keeping me busy. I got stuff going on with them. And I got my wheels in for this guy. So I guess I got fenders to do. That's it. And I got till April 8th because that's when Harry gets back from Tennessee. So I'll be anxious to see how he likes it down there. I know he really wants to move down south where it's not winter. We're getting a snowstorm today. It's not one thing, it's another, or 2.